The date is September 26, 2017. You just get out of school and decide to see what's going on with the internet. And all of a sudden you notice something. Everywhere you look, people are playing Fortnite. Your favorite YouTubers, favorite streamers, your friends, your cat. They're all playing a new, pretty silly looking battle royale game. So, you decide to give in to the hype and download the game. Little did you know at that time, this would be the biggest game ever created with influence all across the world. On July 25th, 2017, Epic Games would release Fortnite Save the World. This was an early access version of a simple base building zombie game, where you and some friends could build up a base and fight hordes of zombies and search for more supplies to upgrade that base. This mode would never really take off into the public eye, until developers at Epic Games had an idea. They noticed a small game at the time that you've probably never heard of called PUBG, or PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The devs saw the Battle Royale mode and thought, wouldn't this be an interesting game mode to promote our boring ass game? And shortly after that, history was made. Fortnite Battle Royale would go on to blow up significantly more than anyone could have possibly predicted, with almost every streamer on the face of the planet either trying to become a pro at it or just troll the community with nonsense. But Fortnite had one poison hidden within it that would go on to pollute the entire gaming industry as you know it: the Battle Pass. You see, the Battle Pass wasn't necessarily anything new, but it had only been done successfully one time before this, which happened in Dota 2. Dota 2 had inadvertently created this model with a purchasable compendium that, when purchased, supported the professional scene for the game at the time, but also gave the player a few items as a reward. But after the first year of releasing this compendium, Valve saw just how profitable this was and would adapt it into what we know today as the Battle Pass, with a tier system containing different items and challenges that could be completed to level you up faster. But you see, the reason why games still hadn't adapted this model was that it was a nightmare for the developers. It just took too much time to constantly be creating new assets and managing new seasons of content consistently. Fortnite made a pretty ballsy move by creating this Battle Pass for a game that had seemingly popped out of thin air. But with the game gaining traction faster than anyone could have dreamed, this move paid off big. This did come with one huge downside, however. As rival companies saw this massive success, they started thinking of ways to copy it, and before you know it, every game on the market has a Battle Pass. Microtransactions have always been a problem in the industry, but before Battle Passes, the main concern was loot boxes. At the time, almost every game had them. Battlefront, Battlefield, CSGO, Overwatch, even Dota, the game that created the Battle Pass, had loot boxes. But pretty soon, a big problem arose. As more and more people, young kids in specific, started buying into these loot boxes, it started to raise a real concern over whether or not it was considered gambling. And I mean, it's a pretty valid argument. If my child had stolen my credit card just from to spend $5,000 on a shitty gun skin on CSGO, I'd be pretty upset over it too. The point I'm trying to make, however, is that with loot boxes finally going under fire from the public, and companies needing to scrape up as much money as they can from their audience, they saw an out with the Battle Pass. After all, you're not gambling, you're just spending money. And after this realization, every mainstream game ever would sooner or later adopt the Battle Pass system into their games. With Call of Duty, H1Z1, and even PUBG, the game that had inspired Fortnite, falling victim to this side effect. But this isn't the only influence it had on the gaming industry. You see, there was another massive problem that came with Fortnite's popularity, which is what I like to call the Battle Royale plague. Battle Royales were fairly popular already, but outside of PUBG and H1Z1, they weren't nearly as popular as they'd be after Fortnite had come into the picture. Following Fortnite's massive shot into the public eye, this free Battle Royale mode would quickly turn into something that would entice players into it by saying it's free, only to hold them at gunpoint and shove microtransactions down their throat seconds after loading in. And soon enough, every game releasing had to have this feature, with probably dozens of shitty mobile games being pumped out and COD announcing a blackout mode that nobody asked for, just to keep up with this trend. It got so bad that I genuinely couldn't be excited for any new games releasing because you already knew what it would be. Just another shitty Battle Royale game. And where does that leave us today? Well, I'm sure you know Fortnite is still killing it, with them constantly keeping new updates that almost make each season a completely new game, and even literally making completely new games. Sadly, however, the Battle Pass is something that will probably not be going away anytime soon. With every popular game from Fall Guys to R6 having one, it'll probably still be around by the time our kids are playing these games. Fortunately though, it's not all bad, as after people started growing more and more bored of Battle Royale, it simply just kind of died out, with only a few of them still being popular like Fortnite and Apex Legends and Warzone, I guess. But since this Battle Royale FOD slowly faded away, we're finally back to getting some pretty decent games again. For the most part, anyways.